Welcome to the third APTA Grand Prix of the season. The Chicago Charities, brought to you by national sponsors Viking, Fusion, and Upswing Health. We are live at the Glenview Club in Gulf, Illinois, on the APTA network, brought to you by eNet Live. I'm Brad Easterbrook, alongside Mark Fischel, bringing you men's quarterfinal action between the number 4 seeds of Morgan-Neve and the unseeded team of Burka and Smith. So, Mark, welcome. Why don't you let us know the players on the court?
Well, Brad, thank you very much. On the far side of the court, in the gray sweatshirt, is Brad Smith, and his partner weighing in at about 120 pounds is Peter Berka, who seems to lose weight every single year.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, I don't have that problem either. And then he's warming up here with Adam Morgan in the gray sweatshirt, and his partner, Neave. So all 4 teaching professionals, longtime Chicago players. It should be a fun match.
Yeah, I would think these guys have played each other like probably 20 times each and know each other very, very well, Mark.
You know, Peter Berka, I'm always amazed how well he volleys, Brad. Because he's, in some ways, he's like the antithesis of the way that you volley. Your hands are always so quiet, and Peter's hands are so busy, yet he volleys so exceptionally well with that technique. I'm always amazed by it.
Yeah, he sort of stands up straight. He has really soft hands, you know, so people can smash at him. He sort of deadens it, or kind of slaps these little kind of wristy in there. There's actually many things about his style that's kind of like, you know, which you wouldn't say is traditional. Like even the way he moves in the backcourt, he's got a slippery game. You wouldn't say it's an explosive game, but he lobs it well. Then all of a sudden he might crack one. Then he'll just kind of hit a slow roller. Then he'll dink in blitz. But you know, he just keeps moving around. He's a big student of the game. You know, if you want to have a long conversation about something, you can ask Peter, hey, you know, look, the sun's coming out of the west corner and you're about to serve it in there. What should you be thinking? He's very much a guy who loves to talk about the game.
So his partner, Brad Smith, tends to play a very different style. Brad hits a very big ball and can be hot and cold.
Huge forehand.
Huge forehand, like huge, like save me forehand.
Yeah, he can fire it in there. He can airmail a couple every now and then too. Now you've seen Neave play a bunch of times. He's got a very good backhand, very solid.
He's very similar to Berka plays. Both very good athletes, both volley very well. Not quite the level that Berka has reached earlier, but he doesn't quite have the weapons to get him into that top group.
And then Morgan, of course, he can hit the ball off both sides, both the forehand and the backhand. You know, we're not going to see, do you think we're going to see a lot of explosive spin shots or anything of the nature like that?
No, I don't think that's what this match is going to be.
Yeah, it'll be like good, solid paddle, probing use of lobs, looking to set up offensive shots going in there. You know, there are some weapons on the court. I mean, all the players can hit the ball. We got the Smith forehand, Berka can hit the ball off both sides. But it's not that explosive type of thing that you've seen before in certain matches. So we're going to see what I think would be a really good tactical match.
And then we talk a little bit about the serves, because Morgan is the only one of the 4 that's going to be serving exclusively sidearm.
Yeah, his is pretty underhand, and he's got that good roller. He was doing it all last year, and he played most of the season last year with Will Colmar. And he's got a pretty good underhand serve. He rolls it in there pretty good. I find it very difficult, especially on the deuce side. Very effective serve.
Now his regular partner is Tyler Frazier, who unfortunately for him lives in Ohio and was ineligible to play this weekend because of the Illinois rules. And we should also talk, Brad, a little bit about the abbreviated scoring. Do you want to take us through that?
No, absolutely. You can take it away, Mark.
So we're going to play no ad on the second deuce, which means that on the second deuce, the receiver will have the option of electing who should receive the serve. And whoever wins that point then wins the game. And then if in the event we should split sets, then the final set will be a 10-point super breaker. First team to 10 winning by 2.
All right, and we're not going to have an umpire out there. So the players are going to be calling their own lines, calling their own scores.
We will have a scorekeeper who will be joining us. We're going to try and get his name. I don't know who's doing it. That was great matches.
And we also have all 4 men's quarterfinals matches going on right now. So we'll get some scores with those as we go along.
As 3 of the 4 players head to the bathroom.
Now,
which presents problems in and of itself, since there are only 2 bathrooms in there. And there are also restrictions.
There you go. So as you look at this match, I mean, how would you call this? If you had to say, we have our 4th seed in Morgan-Neve and Burka-Smith, would you call this a pick'em though, or you just give the edge to Morgan-Neve?
I give the edge to Morgan-Neve. I mean, Adam Morgan has played the tournaments regularly the last few years. None of the other 3 guys have. And, you know, as a friend of mine, Joe Palestino, likes to say, once he was playing best, he was playing most.
That's so, actually a great quote. I like
the fact that Morgan's been playing a lot of tournaments, that really makes your game sharp. I give him the slight edge. I think he's probably the best player on the court.
I think he's got the most firepower from the most places. You know, he can hit it forehand and backhand. Both are equal. I mean, the Smith drive, you would say, is the single most individual shot. But as you mentioned before, it runs hot and cold, right? So if it's hot, it's great. But if it's not, and also he has to set that up. You know, if you get it to his backhand side, you're generally safe. You know, so it should be an interesting matchup here, and we're going to find out what you mentioned before about who's been playing the most.
It's interesting to me. I remember last year watching Morgan and Colmer play. Colmer was such a beautiful athlete, moves so fluidly. Morgan is much stiffer, but Morgan, through sheer dint of willpower, has made himself into a much better player.
Yeah,
he's not someone I would describe as particularly talented, but you can see how much hard work he's put into his game and the ability to drive the ball off of both wings.
Yeah, he's very, very intense out there. You know, he's hard on himself. He works hard at the game, and he's a very strong player. You know, I've been waiting for like kind of a breakthrough moment from him. I mean, they've been on the cusp at various times, you know, seeded in a bunch of tournaments. And I'm looking forward to, as the season goes on, seeing him partner with Tyler Frazier, who we haven't seen yet.
Well, Tyler's such an explosive player. They had a good season last year. They played a couple of PTIs together and won one of them.
Ready for this? Yep.
All right, Mark, so we do have a name on our scorekeeper for today's match. His name is Darren Miller.
Oh, Darren's a very experienced scorekeeper, one of the best in the country.
He's giving the players some instructions right now.
You guys start going at each other, and then I have to stand on the court, so don't make me do it.
I think he was basically warning them to say, hey, listen, he's not an umpire. He's a scorekeeper for this match, unless there's a reason to intervene.
Yeah, one of our women's semis, they were looking to him to make a call. It was like, I don't think he's going to make a call from outside the fence, down the gate, down the steps.
Certainly not going to be that case. You cannot make a call from outside the court.
And we've got a no ad on the second deuce. Second deuce, receiving team gets to pick which side.
And there you hear him giving this scoring scenario that you just mentioned before, Mark. Second deuce is no ad scoring, and the receiving team gets to choose.
Yes. And they can go to the same side as much as they want. Absolutely. If they know where the weak guy is, absolutely. Well, they're like events. Basically what they're saying is, can they serve to me?
All right. Players have a little, get it all squared away at the net there. Looks like it's going to be Burka-Smith to serve if we have it lined up here. Oh, nope.
Fake you out there, over. Brad.
That was a good one. Burka's
Peter
known
Burka.
To fake.
You said he was slippery on the court, Brad.
He is a little slippery.
They've elected to receive. Serving from my right, Adam Morgan. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, we'll see you in the initial stages of the match.
Okay, so there's Adam Morgan getting ready to serve. Backhand by Berka.
Yeah, just a couple of probing drives. Ball was a good shot. It had some spin, a little high, so they thought it might be going out. And it's a warm, warm day out there in Chicago. Beautiful day. So easy to track that ball down off the back screen.
This is one of those matches, if we didn't have the abbreviated scoring, you think it'd go 3.5 hours.
It may. And I'm going to think we're going to see a lot of points like this. Right now it's good. They're feeling it out, getting their legs underneath them. There you saw a first move from Neave to set up the backhand.
Morgan switches back into the backhand corner.
That's a good look of the forehand there. Nice shot. Great volley there from Smith. I think we're going to see a fair amount of this, Mark, where we see Neave and Morgan switch in the middle. Because as you were mentioning before, Neave's preferred shot is the backhand. So when he's on the deuce court, he's going to get a better look at that. And they'll have a lot more offense in the middle.
Boy, Smith with no intent to even drive that ball, huh?
Not that one.
15 all.
But he wasn't even lining up like he was going to drive it, just right off the bat.
Well, one of the things that I think is interesting is people get more and more comfortable. There's so much more of it now that people are getting there, but they're still not fully comfortable with the underhand serve yet. The reality is on an underhand serve, if you're a guy like Brad Smith, frequently a player in the ad court will line up way against the side screen. When you face it, he can move out another step because you cannot pull that ball into the side screen with an underhand serve. It just doesn't work. So you really want to cover that ball in the middle more.
Yeah, there's no way to hit that ball out wide. And you can also come in shorter because the ball's not going to come in with a lot of speed, so you can catch it earlier.
That's
one
right.
of the things that Araya Parsons did so well at Philadelphia when they beat Durant Mitchell is they were catching the ball early and blitzing behind it.
$40-15.
Because that's 40-15, and just for everybody who's watching, that's Adam Morgan serving and his partner Patrick Neave at the net. It's very interesting how passive Burka-Smith have been on return of serve.
Yeah, in an early stage, they don't want to give up any points, but they're definitely not setting up any offense or looking for the big shot. But, you know, they've kept a bunch of balls in play, no pressure, feeling each other out in the first game or so.
Well, Brad, what was your attitude when you get in a match like this, first couple of games? Were you looking for your shots, trying to feel your way into the match? Were you playing more patiently? How did you approach most of this?
You know, I usually took my shots early, and then if I felt like I wasn't on, then I would dial it back. But I would always try to take my shots early. I would start off trying to drive those balls, and then if I find I'm just not doing the percentage I want, you know, I'm going to play my game. Maybe that is the style they want to play, though.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised that they took such a passive approach in that first game. So that's Brad Smith to serve to Paget Neave.
I want to see if Neave looks to set up, because I think they're going to go into his forehand wire a little. And when they do, he's going to have to cut off some of those, let him know he's there.
Well, he moves so well. Certainly should be able to do that.
See, there's that backhand again that he used in the first game. He hits it high and looping. And because the ball's above the regular contact zone that people are used to, they let it go. Just rolls it right through him. Shot by Berka. Oh, what a great shot. Did you see the way he hit that? It almost looked like he was going the other way with it, and he kind of bunted it right back in, perfectly placed.
Great volley from Smith. .40 love.
All right, nice patient point there.
40-15.
All right, 2 holds to start the match. And I think this is the point we're going to see replayed time and time again until we find somebody heating up or setting up their office. I haven't seen any kind of idea yet of what they're trying to do in terms of where they're placing the ball or anything yet. It's more like feeling it out, trying not to give anybody an easy offensive opportunity, play good position. Sort of like the paddle 101, right?
Having some color issues on that camera.
See, every time he's just pushing that ball deep. And that's what he's looking for. He hits 2 rollers, nothing explosive. It's the first one low, a little firmer, second one high with a roll. Gets him to push at the volley, picking away. Love 30.
Love 30.
Eventually, they're going to have to start playing some of those. That's like the 4th high ball that Berka has used.
They're winning by 6 feet.
Yep. Good work there by Morgan in the screens. Nice and smooth.
Looking for the nick against Morgan over there.
He's doing a decent job cutting that ball in there. He's putting some action on it. And that one he got off the top of the frame, and it's gone.
You guys okay with changing balls, or you want to go look for that one?
Yeah, they're just going to grab a new ball. I don't think they're going to chase that one down.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Padgett's going. Going outside to get a new ball, I guess.
There. Yep.
Has anyone ever answered, I want to go chase that one down, Brad? When you have option of getting a new ball or chasing it down 3 courts away?
You know, it's a rare decision. It's an interesting one, though. I think for these guys early in the match, the ball's still in really good shape. But if you were playing a guy with a lot of spin or a lot of action on his overheads later on, and it was like after 5-6 games and some of the flocking was already off the ball, you might actually decide, hey, you know, I want to keep that same ball because guy's not going to get the same action on the overhead. Now, this isn't that type of match. You know, we're not seeing the heavy, explosive spins. We're going to see a lot of, you know, solid points, keeping it deep, sort of almost baiting your opponent into making a mistake. The funny thing about a match like this is I don't know who this favors. If it favors anybody, I think it actually favors Burka-Smith. I think this is exactly what Berka wants to do.
Great read on the nick there from Smith.
Very good, but then you saw Morgan trying to speed up the point a little, go attack him in there. Nice smooth forehand. See, there's that high loopy backhand again. And neither Neave or Morgan are what you consider. They're good volleyers. They're going to make boatloads of these volleys we're seeing right here. And basically probably miss just a tiny, tiny bit. But they don't close in and look for a drop volley. They don't look for a cut ball on these. See, these off-pace balls, that's sort of Berka's hitting. At one level, they're great. At another level, some guy might hit a backhand cut, or they might close in and hit a drop volley. They're tricky balls, but he's establishing a good pattern here of play. Getting them running. Ah, there it is again. I've never, actually, that's the most I think I've seen in almost in a whole set, Mark, where 3 or 4, I think that's 4, off-pace balls just right through.
Yeah, they weren't even close to being out.
Nope. That's a good look there from Morgan. He's going to have to do that more. Oof, just on the line.
Well, that sounds like your forehand, Brad, when the skeet guns shoot off.
Yep. So far, Smith doing a really good job just continuing to work Morgan, giving him very little to hit, cutting the spins in there. Morgan's made a couple of moves, but found nothing and nowhere to get some purchase. Right there was one.
It's interesting, too, because you'd think that Morgan would be presenting more of the offense on this team. They might be hitting a few more balls to Neave.
I got to be honest, I think he's trying, and he's gotten a couple of good looks here. This is a great look. Such a smart play. Lob, volley, and retreat. Now you see Morgan going to work there. Good job. Starting to gain some rhythm. A lot of work in this point. Has Neave hit a drive yet?
Do you mean this year or this match?
This match.
I think the answer to both is no.
But it's interesting that they've decided they're going to play every ball in that point to Morgan. You know, they didn't hit a single ball over to Neave's corner. Maybe one, two, but mostly up the middle. Certainly not to his corner. Interesting.
You. Me.
Now, Adam Morgan was supposed to play this week with Matt Zell.
Oh, really?
He must have been very upset that Matt couldn't play. Matt's mom is sick and is on Long Island for a couple weeks.
Well, we wish him well. I didn't know he was there. I'm going to have to give him a call. Great guy. Ah, that's a huge lob error on a 30-all point. Too bad.
Haven't seen Smith take too many cuts on return of serve.
We'll see that one.
What strategies did you employ in the really warm days, Brad, when you were serving? Did you do anything differently?
You know, I was from the old school. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And biggest key that I found in the warm days, you know, outside of always having multiple service strategies, including staying back and working with your partner in different ways, is you have to manage the pace properly. You know, if you overhit the serve in the warm day, it just flies off the screen. You had to get the right combination of spin so that it wouldn't fly off the back screen, give him an easy screen drive. You see Berka using, Neave using a slower serve to that deuce side, just trying to get himself back in there. It's very easy to overhit that ball in the back screen on those warm days.
And it is so difficult to serve on the warm days like this.
Yep, no question. You got to manage that pace.
You. You.
Great slide from Neave there.
Yeah, he moves himself right up the line, got his body behind the ball, good soft hands. It's a good spot from Smith.
Me. You.
Do you detect any strategy from Neave at the net, or just kind of aiming for the Knicks?
I mean, he's aiming occasionally from the Knicks. He's looking for a spot to move the guys, but he's playing from that side. It's harder to affect as much change from that side, so all he's doing is letting the ball drop and pushing it along to the middle, unless he has something that he can dunk into Smith's corner and going for the nick. So, no, not at this point. And it's strategy here from Berka. I mean, they're just not missing. You know, giving him nothing.
Great shot.
Yeah. And not missing. And there's an overhit from Morgan trying to hit Berka, who sneaks in. And they're just, if they're not going to find a way to hurt him on these off-pace drives, it's going to be a lot of tough grinding points. It's going to be a battle. We could be here for 3 hours, even with the shortened format of second deuce.
That was a beautiful backhand Smith hit off the wires, a one-wire ball.
Yep. because constantly Berka is just pressuring them with, it's not a pressure, I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's more like annoying them with these three-quarter drives. Just pushing them back and pulling them in. Nice rip. And there it is again, just a little push, and they're off the net enough so they can't hurt him. Good shot, and there's a great play. And Neave, he would have had it easily if he didn't take a swipe at the first one. And that is our first break. I love this pace.
First set, 2-1.
From Burka and Smith. I think this totally works to their advantage.
And this is classic Peter Berka. I mean, the pace of play is just like he likes to play.
Yep, and it's not like he's hit 4 off-pace kind of high floaty drives right through the middle. I mean, didn't win the point with him. He's hit, how many off-pace drives has he hit in total, Mark?
Every single one.
Right. So, but in total, probably we'd go with like 25 or something like that. Like
30.
A large number. He's pushing up the lob, hitting an off-pace drive. Pushing up the lob, hitting an off-pace drive. Every third, fourth ball, off-pace drive. So it's tiring and it's mentally draining.
Now, Berka serves very hard, and especially in the deuce court, be looking for the nick on a consistent basis.
I think that one was right off the net, and for a winner on the first one, I think it's 15 all. There it is. Darren Miller, our scorekeeper.
And there are those handsy volleys from Berka that we talked about earlier that are so effective.
He just kind of sticks his paddle out.
Oh, Morgan wanted to hit that one.
Yeah. Well, so far he's the only offense that I've even seen attempted. I haven't seen Neave hit a return or any drive for that matter at this point. I mean, it's surprising to go in 3 games without a single drive. That's maybe it's an idea. Maybe that's the thought process. Great volley and bail.
Berka is so good at that.
30 all.
Bail out in the middle of the point, picking up the half volley, lob volley. 30 all.
There's a drive. Look at those hands. Just a little roll.
Love the court positioning from Berka. Forced the hard overhead out of Morgan there.
And what do you mean by that, Mark? Why don't you follow that up a little bit?
Well, he was in tight in the court. Morgan was looking potentially at a blitz. Hit a hard overhead at him, and Smith was able to take advantage and drive the ball back through.
Yeah, so he pressed his position up there, forced him to go behind him hard because he can't lay it soft in front. He had to worry about the oncoming blitz. Yep, it's a good play. See Morgan trying to pick up the pace here now. A little more offense. He's attacking the volleys a little more. Trying to pick that pace up, but there's the... See, here's the struggle. When he switches it over to Berka,
There's one of those wild Smith forehands we talked about.
it's been good. It's the first one, so... And he wasn't even trying to kill that. He was trying to hit the roller. They're actually just giving him that steady diet of rollers. Good for Morgan-Neve, and he plugs him with it. Great shot.
I catch him right in the head, Brad?
I think he caught him in the shoulder, Mark.
Morgan-Neve. Game score,
Great play off the nick.
2-2.
That's like mine, yours?
Love, or 15 love.
Yeah, totally. Berka, he made a slight feint towards the ball, and Smith just stopped at that moment. They easily could have had it. But great
I would
volley
say
up
an
the middle.
excellent feint. He completely fooled Smith.
That's a nice volley there. Good spot there from Smith on that drive. This is kind of what we expected here, Mark. Is about as even an affair as you can get. That's a great move from Morgan. Oh, Smith hit the seam, I guess, because he just...
30 love.
You would have thought he would have had that easily, but it jammed him. Morgan definitely looking to get more active now. Start to establish him and establish the pace of play a little more aggressively.
And then again, you see it with Berka, where he's getting in there tight into the court.
Yeah, he'll sneak in those blitzes behind. He kind of, it's almost like a boxer who, you know, sort of jabs and then gets away out of your reach. And he jabs and gets away out of your reach all the time. And then, so after a while, you stop coming back in. Then he'll sneak a blitz in behind the ball. And you'll be surprised just because he'd done the other thing 50 times. No, and there's no question that, you know, he's done a bunch of Burka's matches before. He didn't play much at all last year. And but he's one, you know, Drew Broderick's another where at any moment, you know, you can be pretty certain the match is going to be long.
There he fakes the blitz again.
Both players just staying off the net. That's a good lob. And without the attacking pressure overhead, there's nothing forcing the backcourt team to do anything. This is going to be a battle of wills, this match. This is exactly what probably Burka and Smith want.
A great get from Berka. Smith covers behind him.
Nicely done. Now, Mark, do you know if Neave and Morgan have played a bunch together? I mean, they're both area pros.
Yeah, I've never seen them playing a tournament together.
See, I wouldn't mind them having the ability to use 2 or 3 different strategies, meaning like move into an eye or move into a different situation once in a while. Because if you get somebody closer to that net, oh, that's the first or second drive that I've seen Neave try for. Just couldn't get over it.
That's why we haven't seen any previously, Brad.
Well, it's possible. I mean, it was right there for him. He just didn't get over the top. It was way late.
Morgan serving.
It was a very drivable ball.
30-15.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter right there. I always feel like in the warm weather like this, it pays to hit a bunch more hard overheads looking for the nick. Understanding if the ball's going to come out, you just bail and start over again from the backcourt because there's virtually no advantage to the net in a day like today.
And especially, and for these teams, I don't disagree with either because we haven't seen a well, I mean, Smith's thrown in some pretty good spin overheads, but we haven't seen a cut finisher yet or anything that he's thrown in a lot of good cut down overheads towards the side screen, but nothing that he's very long and deep or varied in different ways. So we haven't seen it. But there's a shot. There wasn't really a at the nick. It was at the body. So he's going for the hard overhead at the body. And he's going for the guy who's, yeah, and Berka just gets it back. And in both cases, he could have easily taken the net, right? And he's just working. That was a good shot at the crease. But he's hearing you. He's going to speed up the play, which we talked about. He's definitely looking to speed up the play. Oh, and Smith just he gets caught making a decision there. Is it going to go off the side screen or not? And he flicks that at the last second. Good job Morgan-Neve. The score is actually 40-15.
Yeah, I mean, if Berka's not going to drive that ball off the hard overhead, then why not try and hit him?
Oh yeah, and he will eventually. He'll drive one later on, but
By later on, you mean when? Tomorrow, next week?
Game.
Good hold there.
Morgan-Neve, 3 games to 2 over Burka and Smith.
There's a real good sequence there. Our scoreboard seems to be stuck. It's 3-2 Morgan-Neve, first set.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah.
all right. So it's interesting going here. It's kind of exactly what we were talking about, Mark, before. And the patterns have been pretty much the same. The only thing we've seen different now is Adam Morgan getting much more active and trying to speed up that pace of play. You see him hitting a lot of hard overheads, rolling, got more active in the backcourt. And I think it's, why they've gotten the next couple of games. I think it's a big deal for them to speed up that play and continue that trend. The more you make it move, Smith has a huge forehand, but if you get him moving, he's more apt to make an error. And if you just start pushing the ball at him, he's going to make every one of those. And then Berka and Smith are just going to pick away at you with those, with those drives.
We haven't seen too much of that hard Smith forehand.
No, he's only rolled it. He's just rolled it. But I think the underhand serve affects him. He likes the down-up ball. He's having to play balls mostly from waist high, not above the net. They're doing a good job pushing their overheads low, keeping the ball out of his preferred strike zone. Now you see him go every ball. There's the Neave backhand. Oh, he read it. Uses his height. Ooh. Great hands from Smith. That is a great job from Morgan-Neve, pressing forward on the down-up overheads, getting 2 huge strikes.
all.
See, what I'd like to see is when Neave gets it in, that's a great lob. When they start going to Neave's corner, you're not going to see, Smith and Berka do not, they shift a little, but the cross-court lob is open. To get a telestrator here from Kelly, but if they push it over to Neave, the cross-court deep lob is open to push either Berka or Smith way back behind the baseline for an easy offensive strike for Morgan in the middle. They're going to have to look for that play.
Bit of a wild forehand there from Smith.
Yeah, he didn't miss any early, and he's missed a couple now. So keep tabs on that, because that's one of the engines that's going to go for Burka and Smith. And if that forehand's not there, that's going to be difficult for him.
That's a lot of their offense.
He's got to get on top of that ball. He's brushing up on it. Use his height, get over it, take it earlier. It's a great volley. See that shot there? When he has the ability to control it, that's the lob right there, where he's making Smith go back. And that's a great look. He got exactly what he wanted. That right there, Mark, is going to be available all day. That cross-court lob. Push Smith back, you'll get a look. Now, he missed the look, but it was a good look.
Didn't miss that one.
That was Morgan. He crushed that. Good return. There it is, right there. That's the one I'm talking about. It was a good overhead there. blitz from Berka. Oh, he got him stretching.
Yeah, you can see he reached for that ball. Wasn't in position to really hit it.
But I love they got the looks now, and they're putting some good pressure on Burka-Smith, and eventually they're going to start missing a few of those volleys. Obviously, like you said, Mark, the last one was a big reach, but good pressure. Nice.
Deuce.
Love that high to low
That's the second deuce.
ball from Neave. First set to Marino Steinman, 6-4.
Nice. Never seen Steinman play, but I've heard a
Stanford
very
tennis,
talented tennis player. Yep.
Second deuce. Adam Morgan has elected to take it.
Okay, so this is our second deuce. Serving to Morgan. No
First
ad.
one of the day. High serve, great serve. Kicked it just into the screen.
Neave's really feeling comfortable with that backhand.
Well, it started with,
Smith.
the way I look at it, it started with two things. That is a heck of a game hold. That was big for them because Morgan and Neve, they didn't play a bad game there.
I'm sorry, 3-3.
They had some good looks, and they started hitting that lob into that place where it's going to give them the openings, which is going to be the deep cross-court lob. That's going to be there all day for them. They do that.
Really well played from Smith. I mean, he was out of position there and made a great volley from mid-court, kind of took control of the point.
Oh, look, I think Berka and Morgan and Neve played a good game. They missed a couple of easy ones, and then of the ones they made, Smith and Berka just volleyed really well. Oh, great blitz from Smith, surprising move, and Morgan's when your partner's going back to hit that overhead, and if you're the player not hitting the overhead, you have to keep your eyes forward and make sure that communicate with your partner if they're going to blitz in.
And again, Morgan looking for the nick because there are no repercussions when he misses it.
30 love.
You're absolutely right, Mark. And if they get, and like we were talking about before, if they get Smith moving, the percentages of him missing go way, way up. See, like that, he's stretching a little from that. Now he made it, but he's still a little out of position. That's what these harder, faster overheads are doing now. They're creating a lot more pressure. They're not allowing Berka and Smith to control the tempo with these off-pace drives. There's the sneaky moves that we're talking about. Nice. That's some great action and a great rip from Morgan.
You've really seen Morgan and Neve had the better of play these last few games. They didn't close out that last one.
40-15.
40-15. They didn't close it out, but I agree with you 100%, Mark. They had that game. I mean, they lost it in the second deuce point and a ball in the nick. And during the course of the game, they missed a couple of, really good looks that they would want back.
Granger and Landropoulos take the first set over Rose and Rose. That'd be a big upset.
That would be a big upset. Rose and Rose, clearly the two seeds in here, Rose and Rose, our second seed, and our top seed of Compton and McNerney are the, you would have to say they're like clear favorites probably to get to the finals. Would you say, Mark?
Absolutely, Brad. I agree with that completely.
Outside of just the seeding, they're tough teams, and they've been battle-tested, all those players.
Compton McNerney won the first set 6-love.
I tell you, Brian Compton last year showed some moments of being one of the top 5 players in the country.
I think we did that match together, you and I, in the quarters maybe against Hughes and Powers, when he just second set he was just explosive.
Yeah, he took the match, put it on his back, and he went bananas out there, driving the ball both wings, quick blitzes, incredible firepower. And we haven't seen that before.
Play this weekend.
Very much looking forward to it.
And he made an interesting move this year. I mean, he and Scott Kaler were a solid 4, 5, 6 in the country. And ultimately, I think Compton decided they weren't going to win nationals, and that if he was going to nationals, it had to be with somebody else, and they split without him having another option.
Yeah, and I don't know that he has one yet. And it's a strange year.
He was scheduled to play Charities with Martin Bostrom before things fell apart.
Right.
Okay, so Burka serving 3-4.
That's a very interesting team. Right, so as Mark said, it's 3 games to 4. Burka-Smith got up 2-1 early. We're able to control the pace of play. A lot of off-pace balls, pushing them back, pushing it at them. And since that moment, Adam Morgan started speeding up the pace, going hard overheads, hard at the nick, making a move, creating a faster pace. And we've seen that type of pace of play before dry up now for Burka and Smith. And this is a much better pace for Morgan and Neve.
And Neve's presenting a lot more offense right now, looking for his backhand. There he catches some of the blitz.
That was a good move. Yeah, he uses that as height, and he comes forward and will hit that down forehand. Does he have one off the deck if you just push it there, though?
I would say no to that, Brett.
Yeah.
Does that one count?
No. All right, there you go. That's a big swing on that.
Kind of looked like a Mike Marino forehand. Big swing, didn't go anywhere.
Berka changing the pace a little. Solid
I like
volleys.
Neve's court positioning. He's putting a lot of pressure on him by playing in tight.
Yeah, he's moving in. He's taking away those down-up overheads, or he's letting them know that he's going to move forward and blitz them. And so when they hit him, it's a huge thing to put that kind of doubt in your opponent's mind.
That's a great spot. Beats Berka on his right hip. And there's an example of the hard overhead. Smith hits the hard overhead there, catches the back wire first, and Morgan really punishes him with the backhand.
Yep.
And that's been the big difference in the match to me so far, Bradford.
No, there's just a couple of looks that are going to be there for them all day. If they can push Smith back, especially Neave, the cross-court lob to the deuce corner, that spot there, and they get him back up, they're going to get their looks. And they've taken away that soft, by speeding up the play, they've taken away that soft little push game that Berka was doing before. Oh, that's a great blitz.
Oh.
There's the sneaky move. Doesn't get called
Great
out.
move, just misses the volley.
Yeah, that was very sneaky. And the way he does it, it's so different than somebody else does, because he does it on balls that you would completely not expect somebody to do it on, because he hits
makes it so effective.
Yeah. But I guess it's only effective if you make the shot, right?
Yep. And there's a fault, and it's 5-3, first set.
Yep, and a great job by Morgan-Neve, down 2-1. Recognized the need to change the pace of play, and they've won 4 out of the next 5 games. Nice ball there.
Go, go.
Morgan's really hitting a clean ball right now. I don't know if that one caught the top of the tape or not, but Smith just kind of almost didn't see that one.
No.
Again, Berka with great court positioning.
That's a good cut overhead there. Very good cut overhead from Smith.
Wasn't quite as good as Neave made it look.
You know, but it was the first time he actually brought the ball to a lower contact zone and moved it through the court as opposed to down and up. It's going wide. He's trying to cross-court dipping angle winner from behind the baseline.
Does that shot exist, Brad?
It exists in the net the way it happened. Otherwise, it's not so often.
Maybe it exists in his mind. That's about the only place.
It exists in his mind, exactly. There you go. But that's sort of what the pressure now that Morgan and Neave are putting on now. So the other, what they were doing before, you know, where they were kind of pushing them back, pulling them in, moving them back, half-pace little drive. Oh, that's a great dig.
Back in from Smith.
Morgan. Great job. I love that play. They get it through, and in transition is a decent time or a very good time to use the hard overhead. The team is running back, slamming off the screen or at their body. Now they got to chase forward, and he can't come up with it in the sun. And even if he got it, you know, Smith's just going to move back and they'll lose the net again, but it's a good opportunity to possibly win a point.
I expect this to be another one of those long, grinding points.
Yep, that's a great lob. That's the one I want to see from all the players out there, actually. Nice. That's a good lob.
That's a great lob, too.
Yep. Oh, that's the way to get right on top of the net. Doesn't let Burka. There's that cross-court lob. They are working them here. I like it. Oh, that one's behind him. Does not come out enough. And I thought they played a great point. You know, they had him working, and wrong
One
ball.
bad decision.
One bad decision is exactly right, Mark.
Set
All right,
point.
so
Morgan-Neve.
first set point. This is great. It's good action.
Marino Steinman up 6-4, 4-1.
Them, they took out our third seed, right, of Colmar and Barnes?
The team they're playing did.
Oh, the team they're playing did. Okay.
Brad Smith with a couple of nice backhands this game off of the backside ball. And they're going to have to do that to punish the hard overhead. As we talked about earlier, if you're not punishing the hard overhead, it leaves too much freedom for your opponents to be aiming for the neck, aiming for the body.
Great job. Neave's going to hit that one. Nicely done. It's a good look.
Oh, I thought Neave was going to hit that one.
I thought he was sneaking up the wire too, Mark. I was thinking the same thing. Here he comes. He's going to slam that thing down. But he didn't. That's a dangerous shot.
More conservatively.
Yep.
Interestingly, how much more conservatively the guys tend to play in the big points. And I think that's a mistake. I mean, I don't think you should play them significantly differently than you normally play them. You got to hit your shots, and that's not his shot.
Correct. And of the balls he could have hit, that was more like, I'm going to hit it.
Like the fifth choice.
100% right. You know, that is not his type of ball there. He should have gotten behind it and stepped up and hammered one of those up-down overheads. He doesn't really hammer it.
You're like, okay, that's great, no problem.
Yes. And he doesn't really hammer it. You know what I mean, though. He takes it early and hits it downward, and that's his play. And the other one is not. Sort of off his heels, a little bit back. But it's sort of what the mark of a different team could be, though. You know, guys, some guys like, that's a great job. Berka with the blitz, and he's got the speed to cover it back. But, you know, guys like Parsons or Durant, they tend to play the same way. Powers, play the same way, up or down. Go for their shots when they need to. They, of course, can tighten it up, but Araya, same thing.
Oh, that was a pretty good cut by Smith, just fails to convert.
Set point number 2.
Looks like Marino and Steinman are through.
There you go, Berka looking for that blitz again. He's always lobbing and standing right on the baseline or inside. If you watch his positioning, always in. So even when he blocks it, he's taking it earlier, stealing just a hair of time. That's going to be a dink. All right. I would love it, though, if he would step in and hit one of those forehands, though. You know, Mark?
Yep.
Because it's always the dink, right?
Which gives you no fear, which enables you to jump the net.
It's exhausting, I will say that. But
to play against or to watch, Brett?
A little both. That's a great rip from Morgan. What hands? It does seem, though, when the chips are down, if they can find a spot, they're trying to go. That's so good there from, again, with the great lob volley. They're trying to find Neave in the backcourt when the moment gets tight. Trying to make him
spot, right?
And Morgan's got no fear hitting that ball in the big moment that I've seen. That's out.
Just hit that one. Smith game in first set. Morgan-Neve 6 games to 3.
And it was just a couple of choices here and there, but kudos, Mark, 100% to Morgan-Neve, who made the adjustment, sped up the course of play, made the match theirs, and took away all the the way that Burka-Smith were winning their points. So great job by them.
Yeah, down 2-1, really took over the match. The only game that Burka-Smith won the rest of the way was that no-ad game.
Yeah, and that no-ad game, I would have to say Morgan-Neve had the better of that game as well. They just, it's not easy to convert every single shot, but they took good balls in it and had their opportunities. So we'll see if it continues, because we both know that anything can always turn on a dime in paddles. Subtle adjustments. In fact, we just saw it there, Mark.
Okay, so you're on the other side of the net. You're Burka-Smith. What are you changing things up? How are you going to make things different?
Even there, that last game, they had some opportunities. There were a couple of hiccups from Smith in various spots, but they're going to have to start dealing with this pace of play now. They're either going to have to stop hitting those half-pace balls. They're going to go with either really high lobs, or they're going to have to start stepping up and actually taking some real offensive opportunities. So they're going to have to, if they want this thing to go long, then they're going to have to go with some higher, deeper lobs and look for those setup balls, because I think for both teams, if you lob the ball deep cross court, you're getting a setup. And then when Berka gets it, don't hit the dink, hit the ball. Because even if he hits the dink, it's too warm out. Unless he's going to get the blitz behind it with a put-away volley, they're just going to hit it back, and they're going to lose the net. And that's going to be a tough go. So they're going to have to find a way to actually force some errors out of Morgan and Neve, because we haven't seen Morgan and Neve be forced into an error. When's the last time you saw them forced? They've missed some balls, but forced into an error, Mark?
Yeah, not much. Just for our new viewers joining us, the scoreboard is broken, and this is Brad Smith serving, Paget Neve.
And Morgan and Neve won the first set 6-3. That's the look. Great. Great hands. That's just so good. But you see the constant pressure there from Morgan and Neve. Burka and Smith, they're just surviving in that point. They're not controlling it. That's a great shot. Good job. That's a great job from Neve.
This is Berka with another one of those mid-court volleys he seems to specialize in.
Yeah, got a little confusion there at the net. They didn't shift over enough. Ball right between them. It's good fortune there for Burka-Smith. They need a hold here.
First forehand we've seen Morgan miss in a while.
Yeah, it was a little deeper ball. He only took like a kind of a half a cut at it. Wasn't quite balanced. It's a great pickup there from Smith. But if you're not, see, there's the ball. If you make him move back into the left, that's the overhead. That's the one they want right there. Make him hit that overhead all day. And that's
great read by Neve there.
But it starts with that great lob cross court there. That's open all day. And I think Smith and Berka also need to start thinking about the way they want to bring the ball into Neve's corner. I would start letting every one of these overheads drop like below my shoulder and only hitting the ball long and deep, slow and deep and long. Stop with the balls that are going down. I don't think Neave can hit the ball off the deck from his waist. He can hit the ball down, from above. But see that? He can hit that. It didn't, but he can hit that too. Those are the shots you can't hit.
Yeah, and a lot of it to me is it's just very difficult for right-handers to play the deuce court player.
It is, but you know they can control the trajectory of their lobs and what kind of height they want to hit it at. Whether or not they're, you know, I'm just talking about not giving them offense. I'm not talking about actually even controlling the point like in a way where they're winning the points. I'm just saying stop giving them balls to spike down at you where you can move forward. See, every one of these is landing. That's 4 overheads in a row at the service line. That's a little beyond, but still. And that's kind of him moving forward.
Well, that was just begging to be here, wasn't it?
Yep.
Morgan's not going to pass up the opportunity, though.
You know, it doesn't. I don't mind once in a while if you take something and don't drive it, because you got to keep the guy a little bit guessing. But oh, that's a good get. That was around the net post for a winner.
What a shot.
And he actually kind of blocked it, but if we can find a highlight on that from a different camera angle, he went back, scampered back, flicked it with his backhand around the net post inside the doubles alley for a winner. That was incredible. That's to get it back to deuce. If somehow they get some purchase in this set and win this set, you're going to look back at that shot because that was a game point for Morgan-Neve. Oof. Oh, great gets. And great cover from Neave. So there's the lob. You hit that lob, you will get plenty of looks. Right in the crease. He's going at the other one. Gets 2 of them, but nicely covered from Morgan-Neve.
Top men play the crease so well these days.
Yep. It's actually one of the crucial parts. To be honest, if you're a top player, the first thing you decide is the ball going at the crease? And then if it's not, it should be relatively easy for a top player to decide if it's going to the side screen or the back screen. You know, if it's right at that corner, you got to call for your help. That's a good look. And a great spot. Ah, just slaps it for the miss.
They're both back. No reason to miss that ball. That ball, you know, you could see that Morgan hit that ball too hard off the back wire and have an easy play on it.
Yeah, it's tricky, though. He wants to blow it through him because he doesn't want to hit a good stab volley. But, you know, got the point anyway, but what Smith didn't realize is that exactly right. All he had to do was just push the ball over because there's no way he's going to get in on a ball that fast. That's just good playing. And that one he's not going to flick back for a winner, so 2-0 for Morgan-Neve.
Second set, 1 game to 0. They won the first set, 6 games to 3.
1 game to 0, sorry.
Set.
See anything different that game from Burka-Smith, Brett? Granger Landropoulos serving 6-4. Won the first set, 4-5 in the second. We can have a sneak peek. Maybe we'll get a little bit of that match for you, depending on how our cameras are working. Compton up 6-love, 3-2. Oh, great play.
That's another great shot around the net post. You know, you don't get to see 2 in a match very often. Now we're seeing a little
forehand has just not been there today.
Well, he's pressing a little now. Now we've seen some press on a few balls. They're going to have to regroup. See, this is where they need a moment to sort of like have a captain on the team say, hey, let's do X. Because right now, Morgan-Neve looks like they've got this under control. And they're not going to be able to win this like point after point. And when you start getting behind and you're grinding to win the points you were getting before, it becomes tough. And I think you and I both would agree that it's not likely Smith and Berka are going to start blowing the ball through Morgan and Neve, right?
Nope. But Morgan and Neve look so comfortable at the net that just Burka-Smith aren't doing anything to bother them.
Well, there's got to be like, no, Smith's he's just hitting balls for those last couple. Both those balls were just, you know,
I don't have any answer.
Frustration balls, right?
Yep.
Frustration balls, right? But you know, it's
came onto the court, and Brad Smith in frustration threw it over the other fence.
You know, what's interesting about those balls, though. You take a couple of those frustration balls. Hopefully, he just gets them out of his system, and he can sort of right himself.
Point for 2 love.
Oh!
40-15.
A little drop shot action.
But again, the only points they're winning are on mistakes from Morgan and Neve. They're not creating any openings or points for themselves.
No, I think they got to get right back to, you know, almost some basics of lobbing the ball. The pick away is not going to work, right? Because they're taking that off, and whenever they get an opportunity, they're taking, you know, they're speeding up that play. And as long as these guys don't let it get back to that kind of thing where they're letting them get comfortable. He missed that, though, so they're getting a couple of errors, 40-30. They're going to have to find a place where they can drive them off the net and take a strike at the ball with their opponents off that net, and they just haven't been able to find it. They've only had the pickaways, you know, trying to just pick at them. And we saw in the first, 3-4 games, Mark, how many balls that Berka just sort of hit like 3/4 pace, not even maybe half pace, and they actually went through. You know, we haven't seen a single ball since.
Yep.
We haven't seen a single error on anything that's, because he's putting more pressure with the overheads. And also, once they started creating the space, it also sort of just allowed them to free themselves up a little, like play looser instead of so tight. You know, they created all that movement in the court, and that's how they want to play. So then it just became...
But that was the first forehand Smith really hit in a while that he made.
Yep. That's a great shot. Ripped it into the corner.
He's not going to hit that shot. They're not going to win.
Agreed. If they could somehow sneak this game in, it's 40-30 now. And it was 40-love. You get a loose point here from either Morgan or Neve, and you take this game, sort of tie it up at 1-all, and the other guys are stuck with knowing they had a 40-love game while they're dominating the match. That's a big deal. It's a little bit of a mental blow. It gives you a little window anyway. And that's unfortunate.
And Neve in tight, taking the ball early, hitting it down on the down-up overhead. Still a volley you'd expect Berka to make.
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is, you know, you get enough pressure on you, eventually you're going to miss one. You know, I agree with you 100%. It was not, will be considered that difficult to volley, but, you know.
It's 2-love, second set. Morgan-Neve. Oh, that will not make you happy when you're down 6-3, 2-love.
15.
He just got hit with
Take
that.
a ball that's going out by 3 feet.
All right. I mean, that was it. He had a moment of hesitation. Good serve from Berka. Put a little extra sauce on that, little extra pace. Nice. Good job from Neave, just keeping his paddle still, finding the ball, tracking it.
Great get in the nick. Oh, Neave goes to the left-handed shot.
He did go lefty there. Like it.
That's
And
great
Morgan.
move.
Yeah, but he's started working that Neave. I mean, they're getting killed with down-up overheads now. You know, before it was working a little because they were hanging back. Now that they're playing aggressively, they're stepping up and cracking these things. They've got to get the ball going long and through the court.
Morgan-Neve, as we've talked about, is just completely controlling play right now. The only points Burka and Smith are winning are when you get errors, bad errors from
15,
Morgan-Neve.
40.
Yep.
I see no discernible change in strategy from Burka-Smith. A lot of these down-up overheads at the Neave.
Well, at this point, it's almost as if they're just hoping one of these guys cracks. You know, like they get into a bad section where all of a sudden, like Neave or Morgan miss like 4 balls, right? And if they do, they'll hope to capitalize. Nice shot there. But you're right. It's in terms of the strategy, not so much.
Good ball there from Berka in transition, wins the point. Boy, Berka was not happy about Morgan taking those extra 15, 20 seconds when he's getting ready to serve. It's one of the great fallacies in all racket sports, Brad, where they say you play at the server's pace of play.
Right.
That was clearly not at the server's pace of play there.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say that gamesmanship is certainly something to be watched out for. I would not have had a problem with what Morgan was doing there. I mean, he took a moment. Did you consider that to be a hindrance at all?
No, not if it happens once in a while. Although
Yeah.
it did happen on a particularly big point, but I think that one was okay.
I mean, a particularly big point was, so it was love 40.
30-40 is game point.
34. I mean, it was 34. It was game point, but I mean, and no, didn't smack of
Yeah,
anything.
just something to look
out of
out
the
for to
ordinary.
see if it happens again.
Yeah.
Once is fine.
Remember that.
But on a regular basis, not so much.
All-time Chicago great Scott Mansker had a strange hitch in his serve. He would literally stand up at the box, and it would be like 15 seconds where he would be holding like a statue pose, just sort of waiting there. And you'd be waiting to receive for this long period of time, and then all of a sudden he'd go into his motion. And it was a little disconcerting at times. All-time great, though. Hall of Famer, great player. Real student of the game.
It looked like that ball was out, but they played it.
Oh,
Great get from Berka.
yeah, standing. He's got those Gumby arms.
Yeah, I was going to say like
Reaches
elastic.
Yep. Oh, and he was just hitting one of those lazy rollers. Gets it off the top of the paddle. $40-15.
Is that a new one, guys? New ball? Good? Score is 30 love.
All So it's 30 love, actually. It's at 30-15 before, but
I thought you were right, Brad.
I had it as 40-15, but scorekeeper Darren Miller.
He is one of the top scorekeepers in the Midwest.
Oh,
40 love.
great rib. And there's definitely been a lessening of the energy level out of Smith.
There you can see the frustration kind of wearing his game down a little bit.
Morgan-Neve lead the second set, 4 games to 0. Morgan-Neve won the first
So
set,
they
6 games to 0.
Burka-Smith were up 2-1 in the first set, and then won one of the next 10 games.
Yep. But, you know, complete difference in the way Morgan-Neve played, and absolutely no adjustment once things changed from, you know, Berka and Smith.
Boy, Morgan does such a good job of spotting those drives, looking for the right hip.
Yeah, he's hammering the ball now. Wow, that's a good spot.
A lot of guys are more comfortable one side or the other. Morgan is almost indiscernible as playing the ad side and the deuce side.
Yeah, but I like him in the ad. I specifically like his cutoff backhand. I think it's better than the ball he cuts off on the other side. You know, but I agree with you.
Primarily this year he's going to be playing the deuce with Tyler Frazier.
Yeah, and no, I agree with you on principle. He's very solid, and it's not like Brian Compton's not going to be cutting off balls over there either with his backhand. So, I mean, not Brian Compton, but
great in-court drive.
Tyler Frazier.
Just not hitting that forehand with a lot of confidence, is he?
No, they're in good position there, though. Those forehands are not easy to do some damage with. I'd rather see the quick lob up. But Berka's just standing there. It's both inside the service box, right? So when you're driving a ball waist level over the net, 2 guys in the service box, if they're good volleyers, you know, they're commanding the point more than you are. Great pickup, but see, to me, Mark, hitting those drives is doing you a disservice. You're speeding up play for them. They're on the net. They're volleying more offensively behind you than you are getting any kind of better situation in the point.
15-30.
Yeah, we just haven't seen virtually any of that monster forehand that Brad Smith has. And I think that's led to a real comfort level for Morgan-Neve. They know they can close the net without a problem because Berka's just kind of touchy-feeling the ball at them. And Smith's not hitting the ball that hard, so they're very comfortable jumping on top of the net.
Yep. It's because
I mean, there is an element of fear when somebody like Johan Durant hits the ball.
Sure. And it's that moment of fear also, because he doesn't always hit it hard, but if he does, it comes like a mile a minute. And so you get a little jumpy. You know, back in... Oh, geez. That's such a good move from Neave.
Oh. Great exchange.
Oh, that
Great
is
play.
A terrific play.
40-30.
And, you know, a game point here for Berka and Smith. So this is a big deal. You got it starts with one game. Just get one under your feet. Fun point. Get a game. Wow.
Morgan just firing away.
Yeah, he is just crushing balls. And see, the thing is, though,
Deuce.
you know, every volley that Berka and Smith are hitting there, those balls are spotted. And Berka's just like stabbing at them and they're fluttering back, right? They're not offensive volleys that are deep in the court. So the next one comes, he spots it again, he spots it again. That's how you want to drive at somebody, not just drive into them where they're hitting an offensive volley, but they, terrific shot right in the crease.
But I talked earlier about how well the top guys read the nick, and that was the exact opposite.
Advantage Burka-Smith.
They managed to get the ball away from Morgan.
Game. Burka-Smith.
Okay, they're on the board again. A little bit of a blink there from Morgan-Neve. Missed a couple returns from love 30. Kind of let him back in it.
Morgan-Neve won the first set 6-3.
It's amazing how many points we played exactly like this one, Brad.
Yeah. No, we talked about it. I mean, we've also, so this is why it's really just at this point, if Morgan and Neve just can hold on mentally, like, and say, you know, and keep their intensity up and basically don't have any breaks, I don't see any way for like, oh no, there's, you know what?
That was
Great shot.
different.
Top of the net, and he got a break. You know, you got a break. So it worked
But
out
he
well.
hit a good shot and deserved a break.
Yep. But if they can get there's another one. There's 2 net court winners in a row, though. That's what I'm saying. You get a little change, get a couple of breaks going your way, something can happen. There was a little blip in the last game. They got to wait for this slight letdown and a couple of things just to go their way. And there's 2 things that did. They got to capitalize on this game. They need keep playing these strong points. Ooh, a little on top of each other there. Oh, great. See, as we see some more of those hard overheads. The hard overheads are what started making it all work really well for Morgan.
Compton McNerney through, Love in 4.
Tough team. That's some great positioning.
15-30.
From Neave. Covering that down the line right there to easily push that volley in.
Yep.
Try to catch him in
Morgan-Neve
a quick switch there, Mark, and he missed it. But go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Morgan-Neve do an excellent job kind of sliding at the net, protecting their thirds.
Great shot. Surprised not to see Berka moving in there.
I got it.
Great cover.
Told that the Rose brothers in a third set breaker on court 3. Trying to find out if we can show that match.
Do we have a time clock on this match, Mark? We've been playing about an hour and a half.
Eight in the Super Breaker. The Rose brothers against Granger Landropoulos. Granger Landropoulos played really well for a while. Looking for a big breakthrough. Today could be it. Can we get over there and watch the end of that match, Kelly Diesel?
Now, Mark, what I want to see from, Neave and Morgan is taking this thing to the finish line now, too. Because any little drop can be all the difference in the world. One of the things that propelled him, to take this big lead was moving the pace of play, forcing it, going deep into the screens, some hard side backs, rolling them at the corners, attacking overheads, creating movement.
The Rose brothers won 10-8 in the third set breaker.
Wow. It's a great effort, Granger and Landropoulos.
Well, that's going to make them feel a heck of a lot better right now.
Sure, should I send him flowers? But that's a tough. You're absolutely right. When you're looking for that breakthrough and you play a tough team and you've put the good match together, you get a couple of points at the end. And everybody goes away from a match like that knowing it was only like really 2-3 points that separated the teams, right? And you're always replaying those ones. You got to just learn and move on.
30-40.
Say time clock on this game, Brad? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, just how long we've been playing. I think about an hour and a half for these guys. They're working hard.
Yeah.
See, because even. No, go ahead, Mark.
Let's say a little more than that. I got on the court around 2:30 Eastern time.
Yeah. Just a couple of errors there from Smith. Gives him back to deuce.
That's a ball Smith should have taken back to Morgan.
I agree.
He did a good job of cutting it off. Morgan was out of position there.
That's it. Put the pressure. Keep the ball deep in there firm. Don't let it go slow where you can just use your, Oh! Inside out.
Oh, great.
Oh, just long. It was a great,
an amazing get for Berka.
Great combination there from Morgan. Goes in hard, forces Berka to cover the center, and needs a roller behind him.
Point for 5-1. What did I say there, Brad?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering, like, if his sensei is teaching him that. He's always channeling his chi. in that roller.
If he was channeling his chi, he would have hit the nick.
How's your
Those are the drives you're talking about, Brad, that are just insignificant.
But he got that one through. But
Berka did.
overall,
I'm talking more about
yep.
Smith.
Oh, right. Oh, nice cutoff there from Smith. Good job.
Yours. Yours.
I don't know that I want to keep hitting this thing down.
Just kept hitting that down up overhead
Game. Morgan-Smith.
to Neave over and over again.
Frustrated volley.
Morgan-Smith
5-1
leads
now.
5 games to 1 in the second set.
And they just got that other game, you know, that first hold, and they had love 30 there, and it was just a few errors. All right. Tough hole now.
I didn't get that score, guys. Whose point? That was our point. Okay. Love 15.
That's great lobs down the line. Quick switch in the backcourt.
It did get beat.
Called out.
But so many down-up overheads over there. I don't understand it. They just keep hitting it.
No, they definitely needed to let some overheads, play a lot of those overheads from shoulder and under, push the balls long and through.
Looks like they're
Anything
replaying
down
that
up.
point, Brad.
All right, they're going to do it over.
There's some question about the call.
Now, if we had an umpire there, the decision would be made right then and there. But in this case, with all 4 players out there, it's really Neave made the call, and he has the option to give them a let if they question it.
Love 30.
What was Rasheed Wallace used to say, Brad?
I do
Ball
not know.
don't lie.
Ball don't lie. There you go.
As Neave gets the let cord winner.
That's it. That's right. That's usually how you determine it, right? Was that save in or out? If the guy serves a fault, you missed the return. That's how you know, right? Oh, nice.
Great
Great volley.
exchange. Oh, Morgan was on that one.
Yeah, but he actually, Morgan, as he hit it and he buried it in the net, he said, no, not that one, because it did not bounce up. That was a tougher ball, but he was fully committed. No options.
Great spot forehand there.
Oh, boy.
That's when you're looking for someone to hide behind.
Holy moly. Well, Berka was all over that. He ran forward before the overhead was even hit. Speeding up the point here. Oh, and that's too good from Morgan, just bringing the energy and the pain.
And that takes us to double match point. Yeah, when Neave hit that overhead, that was like, oh boy, we're in trouble here. Who catches the nick and comes all the way back to the net.
40.
Match point number 2.
Going for the hard serve. And hard at the crease. He's going right at it again. That's 4 balls in a row at the crease. Nice shot. Right there again. He's just going right after it. No, that ball was too low. Too low. Good play, though. I like it. He went for the crease every time. He was bold at a big moment. It was sort of like, why not? Let's just take it right in there and see what happens. And he got Morgan to bite on the wrong ball.
But where's that aggressiveness been the rest of the match?
Yeah, I think maybe for him, he's not thinking that kind of thing. I think that was boldness in the moment, but he's probably not thinking that's the way he wants to play it. But I agree, they needed more bold shots in general, right?
Oh,
There's
great
the
read
move.
again.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to hit a down up overhead, Mark?
I would say 1,000 in this match, Greg.
What's the answer to that question? I mean,
1,000?
is that like how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Yeah, Tootsie Roll Pop.
I think the answer is actually 92.
Another
For all
match
you
point.
Who always going to know that?
Always going to hit that one.
And
Nope, there it is. Game, set, match. Morgan-Neve, 6-3, 6-1.
That was a good aggressive play from Morgan-Neve, recognizing when they're down 2-1 in the first set, changing the tempo of the match, and no adjustments were able to be made from Burka and Smith. They had the smallest bit of window, but they never forced the action in a way where they were dictating any type of play. And you'd have to say in those first 3-4 games, it was more as if Morgan and Neve let them dictate the type of play. And once they changed that tenor of the match, it was really all Morgan and Neve. I mean, it was 6-3, 6-1. They won 10 out of the next 12 games. So
Yep,
kudos
total
to them.
control. Okay, we're going to be back with our men's semi at 4:30
4:30 Central time. All right, so 5:30 on the East Coast.
So that's a wrap, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.